Aloha guys, and welcome to today's recovery stretch session. So all we're gonna do today is stretch, rest, and recover, preparing ourselves for this Friday when we're gonna crush or retest our baseline fitness test. So if you came here expecting an intense HIIT workout, that's not gonna happen today. Reference one of my other workouts, and you will certainly get that. Now, featured in today's stretch down recovery session, I've got 5 or 6 what I'd call seated passive stretch positions, and these are phenomenal. I've been using these to get work done. I bring my laptop down to a coffee table or to the floor, and I perform these passive stretches all throughout the day while I'm working. And it's a great way to incorporate passive stretching into your daily routine without it having to be, I'm doing 20 minutes of stretching now, which we rarely end up doing. Rather, I'm stretching while I'm doing other things like eating or working. So let me show you what I mean. Let's get into this stretch recovery session. Now I am on a comfy, large couch cushion right here. And the main purpose of this is to protect my knees. If you're on a hardwood floor or a tile floor, your knees will probably start to hurt with a lot of these stretches that we're doing laying down on the floor. So grab a yoga mat or a towel or something to protect the knees. In addition, you can grab a pillow. Some of these stretches may be more comfortable. For example, we're gonna be doing a pigeon pose. And this stretch can be pretty intense, so sliding a cushion under your bum, take some of the weight off and make a position like this a little more comfortable. So grab those pieces of equipment and let's get started. And down into the bottom of the squat. Ready and begin. 1 minute squat hold right here. Kick things off. And just relax, move your feet, turn them out, turn them in, widen your stance or not. Sometimes I like to bring my knees in. Get comfortable here. Imagine you've got a little workstation plugging away. Here's something I really like to do is rock up onto the toes and push the knees forward. You can push one knee and then the other. And I feel this in my ankles. I've got a lot of scar tissue built up. The years of volleyball in my youth, spraining my ankle many, many times. This is a great seated position, and you can rock back if you want, when you want. Now, get into the seated position with straight legs. First of all, see if you can just sit straight up. And maybe you're like this. Let's also sit back. This is another good option, sitting back. Now turn this into a stretch. You can reach forward and drop your chest forward. You can rock from side to side. So I'm gonna make a separate video of all the different seated positions that I like to use and I've been using recently to do work in. This is actually one right here. Kind of folded forward. Got my Kindle or something, or even my computer. Something like that. All right, next we're gonna bend the knees and just right here. Called the bent leg sit, or also the sports sit. And when you're sitting around with your little buddies as a kid, you're listening to coach, you can bend your knees just like this. You can also reach your hands back and press your chest open. Go wide with the knees if you want. And let's get some windshield wipers going on here. Ooh, and maybe even some back cracks. Just turn this into more of an active stretch. And to warm up the hips, that internal rotation right there. And now let's go cross-legged sit. This is kind of the conventional sits that we do all the time. And if you're more like this, and you can also sit back, use your arms for support. I like to open up the chest here. But eventually we want to work to where we don't need to rely on our arms for support, and we can get our torso over our base and maintain a nice stable position here, where our body's fighting to hold this position and resist gravity. So from here, you can also turn it into a stretch by leaning forward. This one feels good. And reach to one side, reach to the other. And sit up tall, whatever feels good. And now we're gonna get to the kneeling position. Again, you can do work on your computer right here. Set up a coffee table or something. The position I most like to hang out in is this one right here, the seated kneeling position. And you can also have fun with it. Go to the half kneeling, half seated kneeling. Right here, working on the computer. You switch to the other side. It's all really good stuff for getting the knee to bend properly, getting the hips to sink down low. You guys hear that? These are some tropical problems out here. There are mangoes that fall from this tree and they crash down on the tin roof of my neighbor's shop. And it sounds like a cannonball being fired. All right, and let's do a side sit, which is just right here. The left knee forward. And you can use an arm for support off to the side. But eventually, and this is hard for me, guys, I feel in the hip flex right here. Hard for me to get my torso over my base in a stable position. I feel like my spine's tweaked. So use your hand for support, and often you can kind of warm up to a better side sit position. And this side sit can also be, with the leg extended like that. You can really play around with these positions and find something that's comfortable or that gives you the stretch that you want. This one I like because it gets the knee for me in a position of internal rotation where I feel the stretch in a way that I don't in other positions. And we'll switch sides. Actually, to switch sides, you can roll over like that. And I like to go foot to knee for this one. Use your arm for support if you need to. So again, we're trying to get away from that. We eventually want to get to the point where we can support ourselves without the use of the arm. Sometimes it's easier to warm up into, move your torso around. There's the real purpose of these different sitting positions. The reason I want to bring this to you guys today is to show you that stretching can be built into your day. You can be doing many different things. You can be working from home, working on the floor, and getting a good stretch and maintaining good mobility without really having to try. Let's get back to our kneeling sit position. And we can just start to warm up at this backward stretch and lean here. Rock from side to side. Yeah, I want stretching to be a natural part of our day rather than setting aside designated time every day to stretch. And let's extend the right leg. From here you can lean back onto your elbows or lean all the way back into the quad stretch. Ooh, this is nice with my laying on my couch cushion. Yes. Because our Paleolithic ancestors, they didn't set aside time for stretching. A dog, it does maybe its stretch in the morning when it wakes up, but just being a dog is enough for it to maintain all its natural abilities And we have strayed so far from our natural movement patterns. I think this really helps us to restore some of those, so that we don't need to designate time to stretch. We're just naturally shifting through different positions and ranges of motion throughout the day naturally. All right, we'll sit on up and keep this leg bent here. We're going to get into our seated half splits where we reach forward. Tropical living. Mosquito is biting my foot. And we'll reach forward into this half split position. This is another one I really like. We can get the knee bend here, feel the stretch. And then as you reach forward, feel a stretch in the calf and up into the hamstring. This right leg. Another position where you can get your Kindle out or your laptop, do some work. I dig this one quite a bit. And now, you either get into this half splits, or you can keep sending your back leg back and try to get toward that full split position. Now we're just moving into some general stretches. This one, you're probably not gonna sit down in the splits and eat dinner or anything. It's pretty intense. To roll the hips from side to side. And now let's get to the 90-90 stretches where you lean out to the side like this. You create a 90-degree angle here and in the back. And I have to use my arm for support, but eventually you want to warm up where you want to press your torso over your base, formed by the legs. Try removing that hand and see what happens. I feel all tweaked out to the side. Like my spine feels like that. See if you can start to loosen things up. I'm not sure how our right leg got forward, but we'll just make sure that when we switch to the other side, the left leg is forward. And now we're gonna roll our hips on top and get into this Emperor Pigeon pose, which you're probably familiar with by now. Ooh, yeah. And if you want, you can bring your hands into prayer pose. Allow gravity to push you down deeper into the stretch. And if you want, you can reach back and grab this back foot and pull it in into this mermaid position. Ooh, that is intense. After all the lunges, all the squats. And now let's put this pigeon to bed. Rather than our normal sleeping pigeon, which you are welcome to stay in. See, our right leg is forward. Try this one if you want. If you're feeling like something new today. Left arm is gonna reach forward. You're gonna try to lay on your left shoulder. And then with your right hand, reach it up and over the top and place it onto your lower back. we're getting a half bind and a big twist into that glute stretch. You might even feel this up into the knee as well. Make our way up to this kneeling position once again. This kneeling sit. Now we're going to do the other side. Coming up. And I spend a lot of time in this kneeling position. You can also do it with your toes turned under you. Get a toe stretch. Let's go feet flat, and we're gonna extend the left leg this time. And lie back into the quad stretch on the right side. And relax, guys. All right, and we'll come on up. We'll get into the seated half splits where now we're reaching forward. You can rock or roll from side to side. And work out any tension here. Grab your front foot, pull your chest down, deeper into the stretch. Really make any of these stretches your own. Find where the tension is and try to work it out. Now you can come on up into a half splits here, and then start to creep your right leg back further. How close to a full splits can you get? Use your hands for support, and also like to roll the hips side to side. Let's get into our 90-90. So 90-degree angle at the front knee, at the hip, and at this back knee. And from here, I like to start with a little bit of arm support. I'm trying to shift the torso over the base. You can see what it feels like to pick up that hand and support your own weight here. Feeling the hip flexor, really doing work to pull my body on top. Just move your torso around. Try to work out any tension here. Oh yeah, I'm feeling stuff in the back knee as well. All kinds of tension. And we're gonna roll our hips up and on top. So they were here, now they're up into our Emperor Pigeon. And once again, bring your hands into prayer pose and allow gravity to push you into the stretch, or use your hands for support. Either one is okay. Now, if you want, you can bring this back foot in, bring it right to the crease of the elbow. Get a little bonus quad stretch time in here. And release the leg into our sleeping pigeon. Lay it down, and if you want, try something new. Reach your right arm forward. You're gonna lay down onto your shoulder, kind of onto your armpit, and we're gonna raise the left hand up and place it on our lower back. We're getting a little bit of a trunk twist, opening up here, twisting a little more through the knee and into the hip and the glute. Let's come on up to the kneeling position once again. Get to that seated kneel. And let's warm this one up. See if you can lean back. How low can you go? Maybe you can go back all the way. Maybe with a pillow, you can lean back onto that pillow. And we'll just lean back as far as you can get. Turning it into a double quad stretch. This is probably my favorite stretch that I do nearly every day. It feels great for my quads, hip flexors, knees. You can even move it to one side or the other. I feel it mostly in the knees when I shift the hips from side to side. And I just hunt around for where I want that stretch to go. All right, and we'll get out of that position into some happy snail. Kick your feet up and over the top. We have plenty of time here. How far can you reach your feet above your head? And then can you drop your knees down? And move them from side to side. Do that stretch and look along the back of your neck. And just play with it. And we'll lower into happy baby. Another 53 seconds. And do whatever feels good. You can bend your knees, you can straighten your legs, you can bring your hips up or down. Totally up to you.
we're gonna stand it up. And we'll get our feet around our hips, hinge forward. And I like to just grab onto the elbows, shake out the head. Reach the elbows toward the floor, sway from side to side and relax here. Now walk your hands out, press back into downward dog, and we'll pump the heels up and down, walking the dog. Now let's move it into the shoulders where we'll shift our weight from left to right side. And now whatever feels good in your body here. Got about 10 more seconds. Before we flip it over, we're gonna drive our hips up into high crab. We're pressing, we're opening up the chest, driving through the heels, squeezing the glutes, getting those hips up. And try to hold for a minute here. You can shift your weight from left to right shoulder. "30 more seconds. Woo. It's a good one. And press. Really get the chest to open up and loosen up. Squeeze those glutes, hips up. Okay, and guys, all right, we're gonna run. We're gonna find a doorway, do our chest stretch. And we're gonna lean into this chest opening doorway stretch. You want your elbows to be directly outside or horizontal to your shoulders. You can actually play with that position by moving your elbows up or down there. To increase the stretch, you walk your feet back and then lean through the door. Forearms pressing into the wall. We're gonna stay here for 2 minutes, guys. If you don't have a doorway, you can do a stretch that I've shown in the little box, and I'll let you know when to switch sides. I like to tilt the head from side to side, turn it, feel tension in the neck in certain areas. You guys switch sides if you're doing the one arm against the wall chest opening stretch. Do the other side now. If you've got a doorway, you're doing this stretch, we're just gonna keep leaning into it. And the body should start to relax. You might feel tingles in your arms as the chest and shoulders open up and relax into it. Think crunch your abs, squeeze your glutes, and relax into the chest opening stretch. The harder this is, the more you need to do it. So know that if you're really struggling right now.
And make your way back from the doorway. You guys, we're gonna get into our flagpole stretch. We stand beside the wall or a pillar. And you reach up and over with one arm, and you push away with the bottom arm. We're trying to get stretched all along here. You try walking your hands down lower, really pushing away. And also, if you're here, try and get your head through the window where you can look up. And dive your head through through your shoulders. Press with that bottom arm. 2, 1, and we'll switch to the other side. Woo! That's quite the side stretch. And again, you can walk your hands down the wall. This really works well with the pole, or even with this post, this pillar. I can grab the side and pull with the top arm, press with the bottom arm. Now we'll go both hands up against the wall. Dive your head through your shoulders. I like to start by just swaying from side to side. Hunt around, find the tension, guys. I'm finding it by just reaching toward the floor. My chest, my head, finding that big stretch in the shoulders, into the armpits, into the lats. 15 more seconds here. Whew.
Complete.
Ooh. Oh man, that is it for today, guys. After these last few really tough workouts, stretching is what was needed for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, something a little different. And we'll start to pick the pace back up as we head into Thursday. And then on Friday, we're gonna retest our baseline fitness workout. So that's what's coming up. Patrons, want to say thank you guys so much for your continued support, subs. You guys are the best. And if you found this stretch routine today, hope you enjoyed that. Normally we do a little more intense workouts, so those will be coming back tomorrow and the next day. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Aloha.